Denver Meditation Center is an online sacred interfaith temple in the beyond time space. We are known as the Cult of Love. Hello and welcome to Sacred Dance Sundays. My name is Swara and I will be your host for today. I come to you from the past, but my present me is present. So please let us know you're here in the comments. I'd love to interact with you. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Opening prayer, we offer ourselves in humility and strength to all that is sacred in these precious moments. Quiet, personal, meaningful, and transformative. Please guide us as we go within to increase our awareness. Let's see, today's theme for Sacred Dance Sunday is growth. So I have a video that I took from last week's Abundance Networkers education spot was on the subject of growth. And as well, we have a special guest, Kimberly Young, the author of From Bullied to Brave. We had a really awesome, I would say we had a girlfriend conversation, and I had to edit myself out and turn it into a podcast. I was just kind of interrupting her like, girlfriends do. I'm still learning how to interview people. This is not something I went to school to learn how to do. So anyway, I'm just excited to share Kimberly with you and her story. So we'll see some of that a little bit later on too. Want to thank our sponsor, Denver Flood and Fire. If you're moldy, wet, or your situation's dire, call Denver Flood and Fire. I just want to encourage people, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up and comment if you would like to engage. Increase our community and our capacity to give love, which is all it's about. Our next Abundance Networkers online networking group. We meet on the first and the third Wednesdays of the month, and the theme is going to be accountability. So that would be very, very interesting. This is a donation-based offering. So if you would like to place a donation, please go to Venmo, and it's very much appreciated. It takes money to produce these shows. I have some other related events that I like to talk about. June 21st through 23rd, there's going to be a transformational seminar called Gateway. I'm going to be a participant, so I am inviting all of my people to come and join me. Anyway, for powerful transformational experiences, they're usually thousands of dollars and you have to travel, but this is incredibly affordable for the quality of work. A lot of my friends that have explored plant medicine, ayahuasca, psilocybin, there's more to go after you have that huge opening. For me, sober-based transformational experiences are really the way to go as far as maintaining a sustainable increase spiritual growth. There you go. There's the theme, growth, showing up again. So please join me, and you could go to centerofthegoldenone.com to learn more about the Gateway. And there are some prerequisites, and I think there's 3 Wednesday night meditations they require that you go to. So go check those out, read all about it, join me, and let's transform together. We have Rhythm Sanctuary, Ecstatic Dance Online on Saturdays, and Ecstatic Dance Denver's, which is happening in person right now in Denver. I wanted to let you know, last week during the Sacred Dance Sunday, I had shared more vulnerably than I'd ever shared before publicly, and I was feeling so accomplished, we started Sacred Dance Sundays on New Year's Eve, and every week I learned a lot, and it's evolved and changed. It went from a Zoom format to streaming live, and then now we're moving into uploading content like this. Of course, I'm still going to stream my meditations live so we can connect in that way. And in the future, we'll have some hybrid opportunities to meditate together in person, as well as online streaming here on YouTube. But last week, I was like, oh my gosh, I was so ecstatic after Sacred Dance Sunday, and I posted on Facebook. I was like, I think I'm getting the hang of this. My tech is coming together. The content, like what I want to share, how I want to share it, is starting to get good. It's starting to get juiced, and I'm feeling so good. And I finished, I sent that post, and then I picked up my phone, and my friend had texted me during the event and told me that I was having some audio issues. So here I am sharing from the most vulnerable place inside that I can muster up. And then I have this like echo reverberation thing going on. I was like, oh my God, like I wanted to go back and delete all of the Sacred Dance Sunday events that we've uploaded onto or streamed live onto YouTube. But I thought about it and I thought, no, it's not about being perfect. And I think it's good for me to take actions against that part of me that is a perfectionist. And I think that perfectionism stops a lot of people from going online and sharing vulnerably what their stories are. And so I just want to be an example of never giving up. And even though it's like one technical issue after another technical issue, instead of fighting it and trying to keep things the way I thought it's supposed to be, like changing the format from a week to week basis until I nail it. And I think I'm nailing it now. So we'll see how this evolves from here. I uploaded those sharings without the audio anomaly onto YouTube, and I have that take 2 is what I'm calling it. I have the link for that. So, you might want to go check that out. There's one part of me that doesn't want to draw too much attention to it, but another part of me that feels like that's how we empower each other to stand up in strength in whatever our stories are. And we have all had to cross over periods of dark nights of the soul and things from our past that might be embarrassing, but I think that the more you transform, the more you realize everybody's kind of fucked up too, So if we can stop the stigma of sharing our so-called mistakes, lessons in life, the more illuminated we all can become, and the closer we can come together. I like Brene Brown talks about cultivating connection, and I'm very much driven to wanting that with these offerings. We're going to head into the rest of the content that we have for the show. What we're going to do is play some content, and when that is finished, I'm going to go live on this channel and we'll do a 1-hour meditation, guided meditation. Sundays are guided meditations. And during the week, I have 1 hour, no yakking meditations, unguided, depending on where you're at and what works for you. There's something for everyone. When I do these guided meditations on Sundays, I'm always speaking to the person who's coming to this type of spiritual work for the first time. So even if you're advanced, you can still benefit from the conscious stream of consciousness that comes out during these guided meditations. And let's just all come together and move and transform and increase the vibration of love on planet Earth. Thank you. So our theme today is growth, and we already organically had a lot of really cool conversation before the meeting even started about growth. And then Drew, I also really liked that you brought in those definitions because I didn't even look up the definitions. It was interesting. I wanted to first share my growth journey by taking on the subject of growth in education, because I've been wanting to give back to this group, and I thought taking some education moments would be a great way to do it. And so Mary and Stephanie sent me a list of the themes of the different meetings, and I was like, oh, I want to do that one, and I want to do that one. I skipped over growth, and I didn't think about I wanted to do this one, but I stepped up to take this one because there wasn't anybody to fill it. And it was interesting that I had the perspective that I wouldn't know anything about, or like, why would I have to be an expert on growth in order to do the growth education moment? But what's interesting is that I've experienced a lot of growth, even in the period of time since I've said yes to this. And I just passed my first 1,000 views, and that's all just happened in this time period. So that was just my personal journey. So when I did say yes, I thought about growth. The first thing that came to my mind was, okay, it's about growing the chapter, right? Growing our Abundance Networkers group. But then I kept thinking about it. And then I was thinking, okay, well, it's not just that. Growing could be growing your hair long, like Thea's doing right now. Or growing could be cutting your hair off and growing your confidence, or growing your vulnerability. Or growing could be putting seed in soil and growing your own food. Growing could be watching your children grow, or our beloved pets, and have it be a reminder that these moments are precious and fleeting. You know, our children and pets, they grow quickly. And then I kept thinking about growth, and then I really thought about it. Actually, growth is the movement of the universe, constantly expanding, constantly growing. So I feel like really the feeling of growth means change. There's like a synergy of the two of those together. So I put together a slideshow from a University of YouTube, and there are 8 points about different things that we can do every single day for our own personal growth. So I thought that would be a really cool thing to look at together. So let me go ahead and share that. Here we go. Let's hope that the technology works. I don't always have good luck with that, but here we go. So, Abundance Networkers. These are 8 simple self-improvement steps to take. And this is from Practical Psychology on YouTube. And I will give you the 8 steps in the chat along with the YouTube link. So the first step is drink more water. This is something that we talked about. This is something that's simple and easy to do, makes such a huge impact on our wellness. Thea, you are already saying, you know, how much it wakes you up. Also, dehydration is way more common than we realize. And fatigue could be a sign of dehydration. So if you're feeling a little brain fogged, drink some water. But they definitely recommend, you know, I have my ounces a day, and there's like a little, it says, get started, remember your goal, keep chugging, don't give up, almost there, you did it. So ways, have water around to encourage yourself to drink more water. So we'll drink to that. Eat more whole foods. So, you know, Joey and I have been just on a progression of over time, completely tweaking our diet. The first thing was we decided to get rid of all GMO foods. We decided to go organic. Then, and these are little steps we took over time. And I remember I was in a acupuncture session with Melissa. This is like 10 years ago. And she said, well, if you eat junk food, make it at home. So we learned how to make our own pizza. And so that sort of thing. So there's little tweaks we can make, like tweaking the morning coffee to maybe mushroom coffee instead. So this is just another way we can improve our growth in a positive direction. They recommend pick up a book. And I think the major lesson here is to get off screen and pick up a book instead. I personally, the way my cognitive brain works, I'm not a book reader. I'd much rather watch a movie. So I'll take this and listen to a audiobook. And the next one is to watch a TED Talk. There's like a bazillion TED Talks out there. And if there's an area of growth that we're striving in our personal businesses or in our personal life, we can find a TED Talk that talks to us about that. So that's just a reminder to get on there and give yourself a little pep talk. Thank you, TED Talk. Here's a cool one. Forgive someone. My spiritual community has been focused on forgiveness since September. And it's been quite the journey for me to really evaluate, okay, where am I holding on? Who are the characters in my life that have caused me the most harm? And am I was surprised to discover there's still some hanging on that I've been going on. So I'm in a practice of forgiving, in a flow of forgiving, and the world would be in a kinder place and wars would stop if we could learn how to forgive each other. And then they say, find a group of supportive individuals, which we've done. We are our group of supportive individuals. So in the theme of growth, I just wanted to take a moment to stop for a second, breath in, close our eyes, and just take a moment to open up ourselves to an opportunity to invite someone to our meetings in business networking. When we meet more people, each person represents at least 150 connections. This is growth and expansion. So if we're able to invite people and grow this network, it could be a part of our own growth in our personal lives and in our businesses. So we just visualize coming across someone, meeting them, hearing about what their business is, and connecting the dots that abundance networkers could be a fit for them. And then we visualize ourselves inviting them. Take another breath, let it go, and just see if it shows up organically in our life. Go back. So congratulations. This is a step where we acknowledge our growth. This is acknowledging, for instance, for me, when I reached 1,000 views on one of my meditations, I took a picture of it and I posted it on Facebook and I said, woohoo, look what we've accomplished. So really acknowledging ourselves and our accomplishments is how we make room for more. And I have a bonus step because that was the 8 from the psychology link. But I also wanted to add one more, which is a spiritual practice of going to sleep in a meditative state. This is something that's super easy to do, but a very potent practice. So some people, it could be you want to fall asleep in prayer, or connect to your spirit guides or your angels, or however it is you connect to your sense of spirituality. And for me, when I remember to do this, I like to invite spirit in while I'm asleep in my conscious mind is offline to come and download wisdom and codes and information and solutions to things in my life. That is the education spot for growth. Hello, we are welcoming Kimberly Young today. I'm so excited. You know, one of the whole topic around bullying is so prevalent also in so many mainstream religions. So that's why I really like to hear from your perspective, what environment did you grow up in? What was the religion in your home? Was there any practices or not? And then when you came of age, what did you take with you and what did you explore that was new? So tell us that part of your background that helped you get to where you are now.
Sure, yes. And what a fascinating question, because there actually was bullying involved. I
Mm.
never realized it until you asked. So I grew
Mm.
up Lutheran. My parents had a sporting goods store, and so they worked 7 days a week. They opened the store at 6:30. And so what happened is my mom went to church with me for a while, and then she just eventually just dropped me off. And so I went to church a lot by myself. Yeah, so I really loved the love. I didn't buy into. I remember as a little girl thinking, I'm not a wretch, I'm not a lamb. I love Jesus and I
Yeah.
love the love. So I went for the love.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Good.
I went through confirmation and all that, and the pastor leads you through that. And it was interesting because one day I went to the church and there were people handing out leaflets right on the steps as you were walking into the service. And basically they wanted to oust the pastor. And that just broke my heart. He wasn't necessarily the most dynamic speaker, and yet he had a good
Yeah.
heart. His heart was in the right
Yeah.
place. And that was it for me. I just didn't want to have anything to do with
Yeah.
it. And
Wow.
that's bullying. That's bullying.
Yeah. Oh,
That, they were
yeah.
bullying him right there on the steps.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved the love up until
Yeah.
then when that happened, I just like you're saying, I just felt like these people are hypocrites and I don't want to have anything to do with this. I just really, though, I didn't want to be involved with any organization.
Good. Yeah.
And interestingly, my brother's 10 years older than me, and he was going to get drafted into Vietnam. And so he joined the Air Force and was able to work on computers and do all that. But of course, all that time during the Vietnam War, young people were really looking within and looking for answers. So my brother was looking for a path. He was looking for answers, and he would come home and he would have us do different things, like he would have us be a pendulum, ask a question and have your body be a pendulum. And he
Oh,
was
that's
looking
cool.
it was really cool, and
Yeah.
I loved my brother. Still, I loved my brother, and I admired him, 10 years older and studying calculus and physics, and I thought he was
That's
amazing.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And said that he had joined a path called eckankar, and he explained it in terms of physics because that's how we related. So he just explained that it's
Okay.
about raising your vibration, and that I could
Yeah.
understand. So yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting from my brother. But I was just like, okay, that's interesting. I wasn't really drawn to it that much, but I was interested because of
Okay.
him. So I didn't
Yeah.
look for it. But this is about after high school. I'm around age 19. Just kind of a spiritual explosion because people
Yeah.
were
Yep.
looking. And
Yes.
so I was in San Francisco visiting friends, and I saw posters for an introductory Eckankar event. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a concert, and I love music.
Oh,
But my
yeah.
friends didn't want to go. And this was at night, I think around 7:30. And, you know, when you're in any city, you have to be careful, but, you know,
Yeah.
especially a young woman
Woman.
alone.
Yeah.
So when I walked in, I made sure I was walking in with other people, and I absolutely loved the event. I loved the love. It was like, at that point, like the most love I'd ever felt in this lifetime at that point. So here's what's interesting. So when I left, I thought I was walking with other people. Not people I knew, but I was just like with the group. And yet this very powerful voice told me, you need to walk briskly to your car. When you close the door, you need to immediately lock it. So I mean, no question, that's what I did. I closed the door and locked it. And when I did it, like seconds later, this man tried to open it. And then I looked at the passenger side, and there was another man on the other side of the car.
Oh my
Dawned
God.
on me until the next day. I drove home, you know, and then my brother was there, and I told him what happened. And he said, you know, you were protected. You were
Mm.
protected. What I love is second car is called the path of spiritual freedom, and there's a couple of meanings to that. For one thing, it's to help bring you a person's spiritual freedom, and there's tools to help you do that. And it's
Mm.
also the path of spiritual freedom, because everyone has their own path, and so we
Mm.
honor everyone's freedom. So
Mm.
that's one of the things I love. So what drew me to the path, of course, is that I was protected. And my brother explained, you know, there is a spiritual leader of Ekankar. He's called the Mahanta, the living Ek master, and he can work with people inwardly and outwardly with their permission. And what I've gained from this path is how to listen to spirit and basically more and more live
Mm.
my life in that awareness every
Mm.
day. And so,
Every
like
part of
you,
every day. Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
do my best to be of
Yeah.
service.
What
Yeah.
is your, map that you have hidden, blurred out behind you? Let's see what's going on there.
Sure.
Tell us all about it. I love this.
Sure. So this is part of my work, and we'll talk a little bit about my book. This process is in my book. So actually, I'm just going to show the book because I'm talking about it. So
Yeah,
anyway,
please.
it's called From Bullied to Brave, and it's written for tweens. It's based on my story and the story of girls in middle school who've been bullied, and it's that mean girl bullying that
Yeah.
sadly really ramps up in middle school. So in the book, and there's a whole resource section, and in the back of the book, there is actually a whole section that goes through the process that I'm just going to briefly describe to you.
Okay.
And it's called Draw Your Future. It's based on Patty Dobrovolsky. She's the one who came up with this. And if you want to look up her work, it's Up Your Creative Genius.
Mm.
So the way this works is I have done this with kids in second and third grade. I've done it with middle school, tweens, and adults. I've done it with all ages. And so this one I've done, like I said, is based on the main character in the book, Kat. So Kat is being bullied in middle school. So in her current reality, right, she's bullied. So that's what's really difficult. But what I typically like people to do is start out with what's going well. So in the book, you'll read about Geraldine, her dog, who can actually talk. She had a cat, Killer.
Killer, the cat. I
Killer the
love
cat, because he
that.
had, and then she got a lot of love and support
Did
from
you do
her
those
mom.
drawings, by the
I
way?
did oh yeah, I did those drawings. Oh yeah.
You're talented. I
Oh
can't
yeah.
draw like that, man. I can't. I'd love to, but anyway, so thank you. Keep going.
And just know, if you want to do this on your own, following the process in the book, you don't need to be an excellent artist. In fact, what we're doing is we're putting images in the brain. As you know, the subconscious works on images. And if the image is a little wonky, it's actually great because the brain will remember it better. And it's important to give yourself love. And so you just say, that's fantastic. What I do with kids and people is I draw their new reality. Okay. And so some of the things that Kat in the book would really love to have are new friends who are loving and supportive. And she
Yes.
does make new friends. She wants confidence. So I drew the superhero. And
Nice.
then she learns to be a buddy because of the horror she went through. She wants to be a buddy to other kids.
Yeah.
and then a support group. And then I've just been having fun playing with self, because there's all kinds of, self-worth, self-confidence, all kinds of things.
Oh, I love that. That is a much better reality
Yes, isn't it?
than the cold
Yes, I'll live it for a little
mountains,
bit. Yes,
winter.
exactly. And
Oh,
then the
take
last
guitar.
part of the process, you want to do either a meditation or something to shift your energy, again. And then, so, asking your inner guide or your inner guidance, okay, what are my next 3 bold steps? So I did this for Kat. She would really love, it's a bold step to make new friends, because it's been kind of scary, because all her friends in her class abandoned her. I can't say the word, but anyway,
Abandoning.
abandoning, they left her.
Yeah,
And then the second one's usually tactical, something to do. She wanted to play guitar, so she starts taking
yeah,
guitar lessons. So that's very joyful.
that is
And
cool.
then the third one is usually a change in consciousness. So how are you going to change your mindset, or more importantly, your heart set? And for her, it
Mm.
would be realizing, I am loved, I am worthy.
Oh my
So
God. I love
that's the
this.
process.
Love it, y'all. If you want to know more about Kimberly's work,
Yeah, very simply. Actually, it's up here. It's from bullied to brave.com. So from bullied to brave.com. That's the title of the book. So you can also look it up on Amazon and find it there.
oh my gosh, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this. You just make my heart so happy. And
You.
I'm a highly sensitive person, and I'm sensitive to other people's energies, and I find it so easy to be around you. So I think that just says a lot about who you are as a person. You really do carry that love and light, and I'm just appreciating you right now.
Thank you so much. Yes, I am loving and appreciating you too. Yes, so joyful. I just love the connection that we have.
Thank you, Kimberly.